Hey everybody, hope you're doing well. It's day, I have no idea, of lockdown. Um, I have taken up running, which is something that I never thought I would do. I've managed to get my 5k pace under half an hour, which is really nice. And I did the longest run of my whole life the other day actually, did nearly 17k, which if you had said to me a couple of months ago that I'd be running that far, I would have laughed in your face. So just trying to better myself. I want to be around as long as I can for my children and grandchildren and hopefully great grandchildren. And yeah, so I found that quarantine life was uh, a mix of trying to start a business, Bird and Bear, trying to teach the children, and whiskey. So today marks just over 4 weeks of no alcohol. So I don't. People put posts about these things as like, oh, my skin is clearer and I feel more alert and all these kind of things. I don't really have any of that. I just wanted to make the conscious decision not to get through quarantine half cut the whole time. Anyway, this video is for my fellow dads. So sorry, mums. There's loads of other stuff out there for you. The bird writes blogs, and I'm sure she can talk mum things with you and all that sort of stuff. But this one is just for the dads. So I follow a few dad Instagram accounts or Facebook accounts, and just celebrating fatherhood and how we have to do our best for our children, and that we're such an important role. Now I know some of you may not know, some of you may know that I have two children two sons from a previous relationship, and then H, she is obviously with my wife, and so trying to be the best dad you can be in a blended family, as it were, is it can be tough because you know you're missing out on some key elements of your children growing up, and H definitely misses the boys when they're not here, and so it's just juggling all of those things. Anyway, I saw this post of a dad. I don't know when it was from, but it's a photo of a young lad in a graduation gown and cap, and he's holding a photo of him and his dad from when he was little. And the dad, the caption of it is that the dad had got a job at the university as a cleaner, as a janitor, and he had done that so that he could provide for his son to be able to go to university, and his son graduated, and but unfortunately the dad had passed away. But his legacy was that he passed on the ability for his son to go to university. And that really struck a chord, that I know there are some deadbeat dads, just like there are some deadbeat mums out there, and that there are some dads that struggle with contact with their children, and dads that have no contact through either their choice or there's a number of reasons. But this is just a shout out for the dads that are doing the best they can for their children, because what we do is a legacy. How we operate with our children and how we seek to train them. I can't remember where I heard it. It might have been from a Disney film. I can't remember. Anyway, that this son couldn't work out why his dad was, you're not my friend, and I wish I could remember what it's from. But it's something I've held on to as fatherhood. And the son is moaning and oh, you're not my friend, and the dad was just like, you have plenty of friends, but you have one dad. And that really struck with me, is that I never want to aspire to be my children's friend until they're old enough to not need me to be their dad. I don't always need to be their dad in some way, shape or form, but it's for those of us that are dads, we probably see our dads in the same light now, as that they're our friends as opposed to our dads. And obviously there's a special role of them as a dad, but that relationship changes as you get older. But that we are to train our children. For my three, I want the best I possibly can. And yes, it's sometimes tough and emotionally and mentally and all that sort of stuff to only have half the time that with your children, but that's life, and there's just the way that is, and there's plenty of people that are in similar situations, and we just do the best we can with the time that we're given. But I just thought, if I went today, what legacy will I leave for my children? And I don't mean life insurance or whatever. And if you don't have life insurance, get it, because your children, your spouse, your girlfriend, your whatever will need it. So if you don't have life insurance, stop being an idiot. Go on Vitality and get, or whatever you want to find, and get some life insurance. But that aside, I don't just mean financially. What legacy do we leave our children with? The lessons that we teach them, and the time that we put in, and because that's what they'll remember. And it's funny, Big J, the things that he remembers are not the things, the epic things that we might do, the big holiday or whatever. And it's quite funny. We drive, our cars are not new by any stretch of the imagination, and we drive a 15-year-old Zafira. But it's quite cool because it's got windows on the top of the car, and they've got an electric screen that goes over the top, and you can open them. And I drive that car and just think, oh, this car's really old. It's a good car, and but it's an old car. And there's other kids that have got brand new BMWs or whatever. And this was about a year ago, but I can remember saying just about this, and not moaning, but that comparing. And he just said, oh, but Dad, our car is so cool because we can see through the roof. And that in his mind, that's what made the car cool. It wasn't the age or anything like that. And I think we try and project what we think they should enjoy rather than what they actually do enjoy. And so, if you're a dad, hold on to the fact that your legacy is not the stuff you have, it's not the money that you're bringing in, it's not the expensive toys that you might or may not be able to buy. It's the time that you can invest into them. And like I said, I know that a lot of you, some of you, none of you, many, I don't know, but there will be dads out there that don't have all of the time. But the time that you do have, make it count. And if you can, step up and go above and beyond, not just sort of the days that you do see your children, but then find other ways. Find, if they're part of a rugby club or a football club, go and be a part of that. Go and volunteer. There's just extra little bits of time, or in the school or whatever it might be, that you are, even if you're not having one-on-one time, that they see that you're always present. And that's so important, because your legacy will be the time that invested into them. So don't think it's the expensive cars, don't think it's the big toys or whatever it might be. It's the time that you can find to invest into your children. And that's it. That was my thought for the day. I want my legacy with my children to be, my dad was always present, even when he wasn't. And that's it. That's my thought for the day. So there you go. No sales pitch, no toys on display, just the truth. So if you're a dad and you're in a similar position, or it's flipping hard, and I know it can be, here and here, it can be really difficult, just drop me a message, because we're all in this. And I know firsthand what it's like to try and pretend that it's all okay when it's not. And it's okay to be, this is really tough. But once we acknowledge that, and once we face up to it, and if you can find brothers in arms to stand with you, the journey isn't any less difficult, but it's much easier to get back up when you fall down, when someone's there to pull you up. So yeah, that's my thoughts for the day. Stay safe. Hopefully we'll have sports and pubs and all those good things back soon. But in the time that we have in this lockdown, I know some of you are working, I know some of you aren't, but just find that time, make that time to invest into your children, because that will be the memories they'll hold on forever. Stay safe.